You know, it's kind of crazy when you stop and think about it. We have mapped the surface of the moon in more detail than we've mapped the bottom of our own oceans. Seriously, for all our incredible technology, the deep sea is still our planet's greatest, darkest unknown. So let's dive in, shall we, and explore a theory that might just turn your whole world upside down.
Just look at that number, 95%. Let that sink in for a second. That's how much of our world's oceans are totally unexplored, unmapped, unseen by a single human eye. We're talking about one of the biggest gaps in our understanding of the very planet we live on. It's staggering.
So, this massive unknown forces us to ask a pretty radical question. All those legends, right? The Kraken, the Leviathans, sea monsters, what if they're not just stories? What if they're just misinterpretations? What if the beings living down there, in that 95%, aren't monsters at all, but architects of a civilization that is way, way older than ours?
Okay, so before you write this off, let's start with some hard evidence. Something we can't just explain away. A sound, recorded from the deep that has scientists completely stumped even today.
Back in 1997, NOAA, that's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, they picked up this sound. They nicknamed it the Bloop. And it was loud. So powerful, it was heard by sensors more than 5,000 kilometers apart. It was also at an incredibly low frequency. But here's the kicker, the part that changes everything. Its sound profile, its signature, it matched a living creature. Now, here's where it gets really mind-bending. To make a sound that loud, that powerful, the creature making it would have to be several times larger than a blue whale. And a blue whale is the largest animal we know of on the entire planet. So that leaves a huge question hanging in the air. What living thing could possibly be that big? Alright, so a single mysterious sound is one thing, but a civilization, that needs a whole foundation. So let's look at how the basic laws of deep sea biology could actually allow for something incredibly advanced to evolve down there.
So, in the world of biology, there's this proven concept called abyssal gigantism. It's a real thing. Basically, the deeper you go, the crazier the pressure gets, so animals adapt. And one of the main ways they do that is by getting bigger, way bigger, to conserve energy and just survive the crushing weight. This isn't a theory, it's a fact we've observed over and over.
So, if we know that the rules of the deep actually favor things getting huge, it kind of forces you to look at those old myths a little differently, right? I mean, this quote really nails it. Are we so sure the Kraken is just a fairy tale, or could it be a real species perfectly protected by all that darkness?
Okay, now let's talk about communication. Something like 90% of all deep-sea life uses bioluminescence. They make their own light. We know they use it for basic stuff, like hunting and defense. But what if it's way more than that? Some theorists think that with complex flashes and pulses, the entire ocean floor could act like a massive biological internet, a huge neural network that's been up and running for millions of years.
And then you have to think about time itself. Meet the Turritopsis dohrnii, also known as the immortal jellyfish. No, really. When it gets old or hurt, it can literally reverse its own aging process, revert its cells back to their baby stage, and just start over. It has achieved a kind of natural biological immortality.
So you really have to wonder, if a technology like biological immortality is just a thing that exists in the ocean, what could millions of years of non-stop, uninterrupted evolution create? I mean, while humanity is here dealing with our tiny lifespans, the abyss could be home to beings that have been learning and evolving for eons. They would understand this planet in ways we can't even imagine.
Which of course brings us to our own clumsy interactions with the deep. Are our deep-sea explorations just about science? Or could they look like something else from down below? Maybe attempts at contact? Or even aggression?
Here's another one of those hard facts. Since the 1990s, scientists have documented a clear link between high-intensity naval sonar tests and these awful unexplained mass strandings of whales and dolphins. It's undeniable that these incredibly powerful sound waves have a profound and often tragic effect on marine life.
So the official reason for all this sonar is to find enemy subs. That's the stated purpose. But there's another theory out there, one that suggests a very different protocol. What if these tests aren't about war with other countries? What if they're a clumsy, brute force attempt to map the infrastructure of something else entirely? An intraterrestrial civilization we can't see, but maybe we can ping with sound?
And what would they be trying to map? Well, this is where it gets even stranger. All sorts of expeditions have found anomalies on the ocean floor that geology just can't explain. We're talking about perfect geometric pyramids, structures made of metal and stone found in places they have no business being.
And of course, the famous Baltic Sea anomaly, which sonar scans show has weirdly unnatural features, almost like staircases. So let's tie all of this together. We've got an impossibly huge biological sound, a solid scientific reason for gigantism and even immortality, and our own militaries blasting the depths with powerful sonar. What kind of picture does all that paint?
Maybe we need to completely rethink what the ocean is. It isn't just an empty space between continents. It's not an obstacle. It's a shield. A shield using immense pressure and total darkness to protect a world that was here long, long before us, and might just be here long after we're gone. And that really leaves us with one final, pretty unsettling thought. We walk around this planet like we own the place, right? Like we're the landlords. But if there is a vast, ancient intelligence living just beneath the waves, are we really the owners? Or are we just the tenants, living upstairs on the surface?